there's really not that much point to your character sheets for you two, but that's not really fair. We need to play out maybe one or two more small things. We have completed it may be a little surprising that the center falls apart. You may not have quite realized why that might be, because I believe that you were rushing people out to save them before the little avatar or whatever it was dissolved. So it's kind of like you have maybe even ideas about what to do when you go back in or something, and then the whole structure is disintegrated. So that's a problem, or at least a mystery. It may also be a bit of a mystery to you why or how Robert has the Tirfeg apparently under his power, and has slain all these baboons. Well, you know, they date all the way back to not our first adventure, but our first adventure, our second session. So the baboons have finally met their end.
Okay, in Robert.
Yes. Yeah. Well, the Tirfeg is.
Okay.
He was able to convince it to be good. This was the last session was the conversion of neutral monsters into good monsters.
Okay.
So
you may feel a little bit alone.
Yeah. And Yaroslav was interested in the possibility of Hork becoming a martyr.
Yeah.
And a lot of things tried to help him with that idea, but Hork's mighty amount, enormous. Look at those numbers next to his hit points.
Wow.
Yeah, there was.
It was getting really tight there.
And also
one hit.
Yes.
15.
Yeah. And also a very, very amazing effort on one of his henchmen's part, who with just a first level 2-hit roll and with a tiny amount of hit points was actually able to fight off a 6th level monster long enough for Hork not to get repeatedly hit by it. So it was, I think it actually does go to Tianos as the unlikely hero of the moment.
Yeah.
So also, Hazel caused immense havoc, which I just referred to a bit ago. And nobody else has any idea why the interactive magical items were disrupted in the center.
Yeah.
And and Alexian killed everybody.
Oh, of course.
Everyone nice.
Of course.
He didn't kill Olver.
No.
Barely. But he would have.
Did he try at least?
He did not try to kill Olver. He was saving him for last night. And managed to slay a bunch of very nice people.
Oh no.
And his hideous little quasit, I was trying to be very fair and follow exactly what it said in the monster manual about the quasit, what it wanted, and what it could do. And it actually did save him.
Okay.
So sadly, Alexian has survived more dreadful acts sooner or later, because he seems to like it.
Yeah.
So there is something else very important that I should have mentioned last time, and this is relevant to Hork especially, because the only thing remaining in all the glitter and some confused insects who don't seem to be, in fact, they actually might be a little bit dangerous now that I think about it. A bunch of disconnected and disoriented carnivorous insects of different kinds are now all over the place. But among that and all the glitter, there are also a lot of holy symbols from small temples from all over the lands, including the temple of the village of the Peace Frog. They had their holy symbol there. That was the room you didn't get to, was the room where all the holy symbols of the temples that the center had absorbed were all displayed.
On this day, well,
And they had a space for the little good guy all ready to go. And we want that one, it goes there. Yeah. So, so those do survive. Those are a bunch of scattered holy symbols of some interest, perhaps. I think. And
Nobody told me they would pay me for any of those, so never mind.
Yes, they would not have been evident to you. They were only exposed when the whole thing fell apart. After which you and Carnation had managed to find some side street to disappear away.
Never been there.
Yeah. So anyway, those were some of the conclusions. And here we find you.
Yes. In the sewers, not surprised. Not surprising, Luramax.
That's right. That's the one that you were in. This is the one that you.
Yeah.
It's the goblin fight. This is the.
Yeah, that's the one.
Now. Yeah. Okay.
When we stopped to pray, did I get a chance to regain my spells, or am I?
When was that prayer? When did that occur?
Just before Luramax descended.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
I don't know if it was interrupted, but might have been interrupted by Luramax descending from the pillar.
Well, I don't recall from the recording whether there was a long period, but there was no.
Well, I think
there's no reason to deprive you of it if it's not too crazy. Let's see what it says exactly. Because sometimes it's a matter of actual 24-hour periods.
Yeah, I think we just stopped for the night or something like that.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
If I remember correctly.
Spells need but pray for a few hours.
Okay.
And that is all it says.
Yep.
So it does not have a sort of day-night cycle or something associated with it. I don't see why not.
Yep.
That would be very, very kind of me, but I don't.
I think I might need it.
Well, maybe. We will see.
Yeah.
He
But
may
I won't
just
change
have
spells.
come
I'll
down.
just
Yeah.
reapply the old ones. My social spells.
Mm-hmm.
He may just have come down to
Yeah.
invite you up.
Yeah. Who knows?
So what spells are you going to get?
Yeah, I still get my. I had.
Oh, you have your.
Yeah, I just refreshed the ones I had.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay. You're the standard Marden array.
No, this is the social ones.
Oh, okay.
Command, double
Oh, I see.
command, and the foul food and drink.
Mm-hmm. Which it seems to have.
It worked that time,
Yeah.
but probably not this time.
Who knows?
I think in running water, yeah, maybe. Hold it down. Pin him, boys.
All right. Well, I have done some thinking about the whole situation. I think that I do want to review something else, and I hope it's not too boring. If we look at all of the lawful church and power stuff and all of the lawful characters, there's quite a lot. I seem to have focused a lot on the Church of Law and all sorts of auxiliary things. In particular, we have Mograr Shusk and the Church of Law and associate with you. But then we also have the church in this neighborhood with its prelate and you and Osmorn as new priests. Then, more generally, we have characters who are lawful in alignment and are nominal observants of the Church of Law. Their behavior is, if not monitored, at least judged to some extent by the members of the church. But they are not themselves part of the church. I mean, in any kind of organized, no official way. They include a lot of people who are very involved in politics.
Yeah.
So that includes Mila Milaria,
Yeah.
the were-rat.
Yeah.
That includes Lady Devizad, the
Yeah,
Medusa,
Medusa,
both of whom are lawful evil.
Yeah.
And it did include Phaethon, who was another politician who was involved with Lady Devizad, who does not seem to have survived his experience. And then we finally have Luramax, who is very much a law and order kind of person, but really doesn't care much about the good and evil side of things as long as he gets some advantage.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of different people in and out of this alignment.
Yeah.
In the various corners of this alignment. And Osborne himself, of course, who is the only lawful good character in our entire story. But that's okay. So that's a lot of different interests all kind of intersecting here. Let's add one more wrinkle. The Kaelin, the sea hobgoblins, are themselves lawful evil and part of the church. In a sort of they're trying to reunite their church with the city church. But that was disrupted by Robert. And then we also have these goblins underneath who are also adherents of the same faith, and who had been perhaps working a bit for Luramax, but they have been convinced otherwise. So the different interests here. Now, Marden doesn't know about the whole Kaelin situation. So the fact that Luramax is himself a Kaelin is not immediately coming together. But do you see how all of these people have had their plans horribly disrupted by two very devoted clerics of the little good god, by the machinations of the Chaos Church, who, characteristic of them, they didn't have a plan, they just threw in a disruptor. Because that's just better as far as they're concerned. So that's Alexian's role. And then we have another source of constant disruption of all these same people's plans running around, and to some extent that was, Mila and Devizad were just seeking somebody disposable, competent and disposable. And they had little knowledge that just how much difficulty you already caused them. Although they actually wanted to disrupt the center, so they're actually getting what they want out of this. But the Kaelin did not got what they wanted. So you see now I have this character to play who's got a lot going on. And so just letting you know that there's this organizational context for what all these non-player characters are doing, and they're all operating on partial information, just like you guys are. So that's a lot of context. So you guys do a little bit of praying. And do you go back to the temple area?
We were camping out.
You're camping out
at the water. Waterfall, what you call it, and then suddenly he appeared. So we weren't surprised for some reason.
That's right. You were not, and he wasn't. That's correct. We rolled for that. And so, let's see here. And you and Luramax have met before.
Yes.
So I think that our first action is for, ambient noise is very popular today. Let's begin. Luramax descends in the water, and he is aware as he descends, becomes aware, and instead of being shocked and startled in some kind of complicated way, or some way that shows that he's helpless for a moment, because he's not. Regardless, he still wasn't expecting to see the situation, and looks about and says, "My goblins."
No, these are the purest flock following the law. Please join us in prayer.
Okay. There are a couple of things that will be sort of interesting. He is carrying in modern terms, you would think of it as a suitcase.
Okay.
And it's not just a sack, because he's a privileged person. So he is actually going to have a couple of cases and perhaps a small chest of things that have floated down with him in the water. And the first thing he'll do is gesture, and they will float over and land on the side of the concrete there.
Through the air or through water?
Let's see. Well, here, look at this. We have all of this is water.
Yep.
Like a stream.
Yep.
So this is the way it's drawn here is a pillar, but it's not a pillar.
No,
this is the column.
Yep.
Right.
Water.
Of water. And so all of this is about knee deep all along here. And so where he puts it is actually on this shelf. Right here. Yeah. So that's actually open to the water. So puts it right there. Or is that where you are?
Oh, no, I think
you came from here.
Or there.
Yeah, so you would have splashed along.
But then if you stay to pray, then
probably up here on the
steps. Yeah.
Right. Okay, so that makes more sense.
Yeah.
So he gestures, and those things go there.
Yeah.
And he's I think we need a reaction check. Because reaction checks, it may be that I should simply roleplay it. If it gives me instructions that says
murder.
Well, it may. The whole point is that encounter reactions may not be for named characters. They may be for just when I run into a group. And I want to make sure that I'm not overrunning that. No, I don't think that we make reaction rolls for characters whom you've met and have had interactions with and things like that. I think it's much more for how would these creatures react? I don't know, so let's check. And I think I know.
Okay.
He waves his hand in the water, kind of swirls around it. He's remaining in the water. You can see his gills. And he speaks to you directly, and he says, "You jumped up a little, acolyte."
Priest.
Says, "I prayed already this morning. My faith is not in question."
I never questioned it, but please join us.
He will, in fact, step out of the column of water. So now he's standing here on this. Well, you're on the steps here, I guess. Oh, here comes Richard.
Nothing wrong with praying before a long journey. I see you carry your cases.
He looks at them actually and shifts his position a little bit to kind of block line of sight from you. He says, "Never mind about that.